Okay, on this one, I'm moving on to using the pivot table for by state, and the instructions were as listed here. I've just made the instructions shorter so they're easier to see, but it wants you to go to the project by state sheet, switch it to outline format, refresh. Well, I've got that in there twice. I'm going to delete that. Add a timeline slicer on start date, and then copy the state totals back over to the project worksheet. So that's what we're going to do now. So, project by state. So here's the project by state pivot table that came with it. So the first instruction is to refresh, and if you notice, when I click inside the table, you get two new options available to you. If I'm outside, those go away. So to be inside, you have to be inside the pivot table in order to do a refresh, and you just hit the refresh button. That's it. I think I mentioned that in the last video. The second instruction, let's see if I'm reading this correct, it says to change the report layout to outline form. So again, you have to be inside the pivot table, and the analyze pivot table, it's not here. It's over on the design, and you go to report layout and show in outline form, and it just changes the appearance of it. You can switch back and forth. I prefer outline form myself. I also prefer totals to be on the bottom, or subtotals, so that it looks like this. So you have each state, and then you have a total at the bottom, and then the next state and a total at the bottom. But that's just a personal preference. Doesn't really matter, but I'm going to leave it there. And wants to then group the project starts values by month. So here's the month, and you see it showing the full date, and she, your instructor, wants it to show by month. So you can do that. I think you do it in design. No, you group selection under pivot table analyze, group selection by month. There, and that cleaned it up a little bit. And then add a timeline slicer. And I may have not picked the right one the other day when we were talking, but a timeline slicer based on project start, say okay, and it adds it. And There it is. It's showing all the, for the entire year. You can adjust that. Because there's only, you don't need the whole year, but there's a way to change that. Well, I'll tell you what, let's just build another one. If I can figure out how to get rid of this one. There. So now let's go to here, timeline slicer, project start, say okay. Well, since there's no December projects, I don't know why you would want, oh, there you go. They currently end in June, if I'm not mistaken. And you can expand it through January. And that will give you just the months that are currently existing in the pivot table and in the projects database. But you know, you don't really want to go in here every month and move it out as projects are added. So I'm really not clear as to whether he wanted you to show the whole year or just the year that has projects, or the months that have projects starting in them. But anyway, there it is. He said to put it down here at the bottom, and it's a little tricky to get down there. Come on, a little more. So I'll scroll down here some more. He wanted it down here, I believe, something like this, and through F. So that's your slicer, and you can pick a month. You can pick 2 months, or let's see. Yeah, you can say, all right, I just want to see May and June, or I want to see April, May, and June that way, or I want to see January through the end of the year, even though there's not anything in December. And if you click on December, of course, all the data goes away. Anyway, that's a little simple, easy tool to use. So there's your timeline slicer. Let's see, what else was on this one? Oh, yeah. So, so now you have total by state. And I think in my last one I was saying pivot tables are easier than using the lookup functions. That's true and not true to a degree. So if you click that little minus by the state, it will shrink the detail, and you'll get these numbers. And yes, you can copy them. And go to the projects table, and you could paste them right in here. Now, see, if I hit paste for the full, you see it brings the formatting. The thing about pasting it from a pivot table here is that there's no formula. So when these numbers change, these numbers won't automatically adjust like they do with this the lookup function that I'm using. So you see that $10 million, it updated here, but it did not update on the pivot table. So now if I update, or if I refresh here, it does show up. But over here, it does not show up. So there may be a way to go get the data from the pivot table and place it here, and it'll update. But I'm not aware of it if there is a way to do that. So I'm just going to undo and undo that. And we're back to project by state. But anyway, that's what he was wanting you to do. I think copy and paste that over into here. And you would do that by pasting the values. Here, I'll do it over here. Paste the values. And then it would, if I pasted it here, it would, well, I'll just do it here. Paste the values. And see, it picks up and retains the formatting of that exists here on the project sheet. So now I'm going to just undo that, and I think we're done with this section. Let's see. Copy and paste, yep. Unless I'm misreading it, the next one will be project payments. That'll be on another video.